What is going on YouTube? Aaron here, and in today's video we are diving into part 3 of the Kenny Veach mystery. Now, as I said in previous videos, I am not the only person who has covered this story. I only recently heard of this story and started covering it here on this channel. There are many people who have covered it in better detail than I have. If you're unfamiliar with the story though, at least watch part 1. I will link both of the parts that I've made so far down below. At least watch part 1 and catch yourself up to speed. I encourage you to check out other videos online as well because they go into a little bit more depth. But for this video, I'm going to be diving into the maps. I've had several people reach out to me asking to compare the map information and show just how close Kenny was hiking to potentially risky areas or military bases, national security sites, places where he shouldn't be. Now, there are a lot of people that think he stumbled onto some sort of a military base and the government got rid of him because he saw some sort of, craft or saw something he shouldn't have seen. I'll let you guys know what I think at the end of the video. I kind of touched on it in my part 2 video, but I do want to go ahead and use the information that we have based on his videos, based on some of the past videos that I've made, and compare the map data to some of the information that we have in that area and see just how close he was to some of these restricted areas. Okay, future Aaron here editing this video. I know that this image says that it is a proposal to add public lands to the Nellis training range. So it can just be assumed that the red is currently not public land, which is land that Kenny would not want to go on. Let's go ahead and take a screenshot of the map and try to line it up with the roads that we see here on this image. I'm going to put it in my editor, and then we will talk about where Kenny was in relation to these spots. Okay, so Kenny was roughly here at the beginning of his video when he was at the mine shaft. I believe he was looking down this area. So we're going to go ahead and mark this location. So that's roughly where Kenny was at. Let's go ahead and zoom out here and take a screenshot of this. Okay, that's the shot we're looking for. Okay, let's open this back up. Let's go to this one, which is zoomed out further. And let's try to line this up. So this is actually much closer already. Actually, that's almost directly what we're looking at. So if we change the opacity here, we can line this up. Crystal Springs right up here, you can see is a little bit higher on this one, so we need to make this a little bit smaller. I'm going to make the opacity go down a little bit. Yeah, you can see that these roads right here aren't lining up as much. So we need to make the image a little smaller. Now that's about as close, and for the sake of this video, as close as we're going to get it. Right there, look at that. That's it. If we remember from this image here, that is the marker where we have located Kenny. So if we go to the satellite image, this is the marker that we have dropped on the map. This is right here next to this agave pit. And so we've marked that for the sake of this video right here. And that is the screenshot that we took. And if we go back to the editor, we can see that it's right here. And I'm going to zoom in on this image. And like I said, if we cycle between these, we can see exactly where that would be. So I'm going to go ahead and make a mark on my editor, and we're going to line this up. Okay, so I'm going to adjust this, put the circle directly where we have Kenny marked. And so now Kenny falls underneath this green section here, the Desert National Wildlife Refuge. And if you remember from his videos, he often references off to the kind of west and northwest. He'll point out in that direction and talk about the different Air Force bases, Area 51 being one of them, that is nearby. And so what he's talking about is some of the land that's in this general direction. So we have the Nevada National Security Site. We've got test and training ranges. He talked about hearing different, and Aquachigger also talked about hearing different bombs and explosions happening from different tests that are happening at some of these test facilities. But Kenny specifically was not on military land. He was probably on some, it may have fallen under some sort of government land, but it was considered national wildlife refuge. So he would have had to go a considerable distance to either his west or north or northwest to enter different ranges and prohibited lands. So let's just kind of look into potentially how far in those directions Kenny would have to go based on this map. Okay, you see where the road is kind of going straight out of Las Vegas, and then right here it kind of curves up at more of an angle. Right above that is where it starts. So let's look for that curve in the road. Yeah, right here. So look, this is the road coming out of Vegas. It's pretty straight. This is where it starts to curve up a little bit more north. Guys, this is exactly it. And then look, this right here, things off to the left of this would start getting into those hairier parts of the land where you wouldn't want to be. How close was he to this road that we know, based on this notch in the road and then going up at an angle, we know that a lot of the stuff to the left of this road is going to be an area where Kenny would not want to go. So based on that, where the notch in the road is right here, if we go a little bit above that, we can see that this is that road at an angle, the line that we're going to use, at least for the sake of this. So let's go ahead and measure distance from the mine shaft straight across to this road. And we're going to just think that Kenny should not be going to the left of this road. So based on that, it's under 6 miles, but he's close, but not close enough to be stumbling onto some of those restricted areas. So as we know from his video, he's parked down here, he's hiking up and around through this area, coming back around on the west side of the canyon, where it opens up and gets a bit more flat. He is not coming off into this distance around any of these ranges. So I don't think he was really anywhere near a spot where he would be, in danger. And you got to imagine, guys, this desert wildlife, this national wildlife refuge, it's, people are able to go there, clearly. I mean, we see Aqua Chigger out there. There's plenty of YouTubers who have gone out there for themselves to search, not only for Kenny, but to search the area and just to try to get a better idea of where Kenny was. Like, was it really a dangerous place in terms of government land? And I know that this was a very brief video and I just barely scratched the surface, but based on this, I would say that no, nothing happened in that way. People go out there often. People aren't just going missing every single day. There are plenty of people who drive their trucks out to the edge of some of these bases, get a photo, and leave. There are some of the signs that we all are aware of that say that use of deadly force is prohibited. So we do know that there are areas that are definitely off limits. But did Kenny stumble onto one of those areas? I don't believe so. Now, the only theory that I think could support that is if Kenny was going on a multi-day hike and completely went to the north or to the northwest and stumbled into this red zone here. Because as we can see, this is a newly proposed range expansion. Could Kenny have done a multi-day hike and ended up several miles from where he was at in his videos? Yes, of course. I don't know what happened to Kenny. At the end of the day, I can only speculate. And I hope that this video answered a few people's questions. We were able to line the maps up to see just what was in the area based on where we knew Kenny was, at least where he was in his video. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you want me to cover any more topics on the Kenny Veach story, the Kenny Veach mystery, let me know down below. I know Christmas break is coming up. This will probably be the last video I make on the Kenny Veach story prior to the new year. But if there's anything worth covering into 2022, I might just look into that. So thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.